Here's what's actually trending in AI today, February 19th, 2026. Let's start with the money, because that's where the story really is. Global AI spending is forecast to hit about $2.5 trillion in 2026, roughly a 44% jump over last year. Most of that is going into infrastructure, services, and software, think data centers, GPUs, AI platforms, and security. To put that in perspective, analysts say this wave of AI spend is now comparable to some of the biggest projects in human history, bigger than many megaprojects in science and infrastructure. And hyperscalers like Amazon, Google, Meta, and Microsoft are expected to pour more than $600 billion into capex this year alone. But there's a catch-all power. There's a growing concern that AI is literally running into an energy wall. Data centers are hungry, grids are already under strain, and ideas like putting compute in space to run on solar power are still decades away. That's why you're starting to see some investors quietly rotate out of hype names and into picks and shovels like electricity and networking. Next, the tools and startups. Search interest is spiking for companies like Vetrek, Datacrew, and Difense working on data security and analytics. At the same time, NVIDIA is pushing a narrative around smaller language models and on-device digital humans for realistic conversations. On the policy side, governments are trying to keep up. The US Treasury just released new resources for banks to use AI responsibly. It's a focus on managing risk, fairness, and compliance rather than just chasing efficiency. Regulators want adoption, but with guardrails. Inside corporations, you're seeing a culture shift. Accenture is now tying senior promotions to how much leaders actually use internal AI tools. They're tracking logins. If you're wondering whether AI at work is just a buzzword, this is your answer. Careers are being shaped around it. Healthcare is another hot area. In Japan, Osaka's JCHO Hospital has launched a project with Fujitsu and Microsoft to roll out generative AI. Use cases include discharge summaries and nursing handovers, always with checks in place so humans stay in control. Now let's talk about the darker side, security. Cyber researchers have reported Prompt Spy, the first Android malware using Gemini AI. Prompt Spy uses AI to interpret whatever is on the screen and decide how to interact, making it much more adaptable. It can capture lock screen data, block uninstalls with invisible elements, and even record your screen activity. Security folks are worried this is a preview of a whole new generation of AI-enhanced threats and state-sponsored attacks. Finally, the big picture. At India's AI Summit, Sam Altman called the progress of Chinese tech firms the remarkables across the board. Global leaders are comparing the current AI build-out to the era of railways, except this time the transformation is much faster. There's a huge debate about the future of work. How can we shape this transition so it benefits people instead of just cutting costs? Follow for daily AI updates in plain English so you don't miss the next big shift. See you tomorrow.